Hello, sports fans, and welcome to a special opening day of Major League Baseball edition of Scott Sports 101. We also got Cavs, but it's Guardians' first game tonight. And we'll talk about that, and we'll do the Cavs. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. It's an NBA trivia question. We will do an MLB one on my next podcast, but here's today's, which is an NBA one. Which NBA player was the first to win the MVP award? I'll have the answer later in the podcast. Uh, we're going to do Cavs first, and we will get to the Guardians in just a moment. But the Cavs have clinched a playoff berth, and they beat the Houston Rockets this past Sunday, 108-91. And that was at home at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. And where were you in 1998? That year has become rooted in Cavs history, and uh, 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 it is an inescapable smudge that no one could erase. It was the last time the organization made the playoffs without LeBron James. The multi-time franchise savior whose presence single-handedly controlled the team's destiny with him. Cleveland was a pillar of stability, prosperity, and without him, rubble. Until this past Sunday night. Andre Miller, uh, Maha, uh, Myham, Chris Myham, excuse me, uh, Trajan Langston, Anthony Bennett, Luca Harangati, Colin Sexton, Kevin Porter Jr., John Lucas, Randy Whitman, Byron Scott, John Beeline. So many others came and went, tried and failed. But on Sunday night, the Cavs grabbed the proverbial sage and set it ablaze, waving it around Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, and those ghosts vanished. Uh, as I said, Cleveland crushed the Houston Rockets 108-91, ending a 5-year playoff drought and clinching a berth without LeBron James for the first time since 1998, as I mentioned. It's the Cavs' fourth straight win and sixth in the last 7 games. The victory also pulls them closer to the third seeded Philadelphia, which had an abundance of breathing room a few days ago. And you want to appreciate every step along the way, and it's definitely a blessing. Cavs All-Star guard Donovan Mitchell said, "I don't want to downplay the moment, but in the same token, and I told the guys in there, this is what you come to expect. You made your first one. Appreciate it, enjoy it, celebrate it for the city, for the organization, and for your individual guys who have made it. But at the same token, 3 seed is in play. That's the goal. That's the goal. That's the goal." And it definitely is, but it's hard to say whether or not they will be able to get that third seed and get past Philadelphia. Currently, the Eastern Conference's 4th seed, Cleveland could have solidified uh, a playoff spot with a Brooklyn Nets loss against Orlando, a game that tipped off at the same time, but the Cavs weren't going to put their fate in anyone else's hands. They did it on their own, on their own with acclamation. I think organizationally, this is a big deal to come from where we come from. And every year, continue to take steps forward in the direction, says Cavs coach J.B. Bickerstaff. Excuse me. Uh, all the hard work that people in this organization have put in to help us get here should be acknowledged. This is a top down. Is top down. This is something that has been done as a collective. We told the guys to enjoy this, but uh, we ain't done yet. After LeBron James left 5 years ago, the organization went through a grueling and at times depressing rebuild while enduring coaching changes, a pair of 19 win seasons, lottery trips, in house bickering and finger pointing, roster turnover, and last year's collapse that sent the team to the play in tournament, losing both games and falling short of their playoff goal. It was a uh, winding to get here, Bickerstaff said. The Cavs who made it to fourth straight NBA Finals with James and from 2015 to 2018 have emerged from the darkness and returned to uh, to prominence with a young, talented, and connected roster that continues to evolve. Sunday helped capture uh, that transformation. In a game that featured just two early lead changes, a pair of ties, the Cavs quickly built a double digit cushion, going ahead by 11 points after one quarter. That lead eventually increased to a game high 20 near the start of the second half, even though uh, Houston uh, cut that advantage to 5 with about a minute remaining in the third, thanks to an off-putting quarter on the defensive end. The Rockets couldn't get any closer. Cleveland picked up the intensity once again and smothered Houston's offense in the fourth quarter, outscoring the Rockets 23 to 11 over the final 12 minutes. In all, the Cavs trailed for just 57 seconds on Sunday night, giving the amped sellout crowd plenty of chances to salute the playoff bound home team. It feels good, franchise center Jared Allen said. All of our hard work over the past couple of years finally paying off. In 1998, these members of Cleveland's prolific starting lineup, these members and Darius Garland, Isaac Oracle, and Evan Mobley weren't even born yet. Mitchell was 2 years old. Allen was a newborn baby. Bickerstaff was a sophomore at Oregon State University. I was having a hell of a time in college, Bickerstaff said, when asked what he was doing 2 decades ago. Now Bickerstaff can celebrate in a different way. The 24-year-old Allen, considered by many to be the linchpin, of the turnaround, led the charge with his career high, tying a 30-second double-double, tallying 24 points, 14 rebounds, including 6 on the offensive end in 36 dominant minutes. Mitchell was one of the few playoff-tested guys pranked throughout the experienced roster, and whose acquisition in September launched the franchise back into contention. Added 22 points, pouring in 8 of those during a tone-setting first quarter. Mitchell finished 8 of 16 from the field and 4 of 9 from three-point range with him on the court. The Cavs outscored the Rockets by a game-high 24 points. Mobley, just 21 years old, and in his second NBA season, stuffed the stat sheet with 19 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 blocks during one astonishing first half sequence. Mobley snatched a pair of offensive boards to prolong Cleveland's postseason before grabbing a third in the air, forcefully dunking over 2 Rockets. Garland, the 22-year-old offensive maestro, chipped in with 17 points and 8 assists. Caris LeVert also reached double figures, scoring 10 points. Houston got a game-high 30 from second-year guard Jalen Green, draft classmate Alperen Sengun, and at 14 points and 8 boards. The stingy top-ranked Cavs defense held the Rockets to 5 of 15 shooting and 0 of 16 from three-point range in the fourth quarter, showing why their season won't end with number 82 this year. It feels good, Mobley said. Not everyone gets the shot. Not everyone gets on a team, and we have on a team and have a camaraderie like we do. How we play together, everything. Just got to keep that going. As the clock ticked down and the final buzzer sounded, the Cleveland faithful rose to their feet and roared. One overjoyed fan in section M104 shouted, "Playoffs, baby!" The Cavs are officially back. Sunday night was a ringing declaration of this resurrection. Starting small forward Isaac Oracle did not play in the second half due to soreness in his left knee. Considered Cleveland's best on ball perimeter defender, Oracle finished with just 4 points in 9 minutes. Caris LeVert started in Oracle's place in the second half. And so, but the Cavs are back in the playoffs for the first time since 1998 and since LeBron James left. Unfortunately, though, the Cavs lost to the Atlanta Hawks on Tuesday night by 120 to 118, and they just could not get over the hurdle. They did lead at one point, but they tried to make a comeback in the fourth quarter. They kept it close, but they could not get over the hurdle as they lose to the Atlanta Hawks 120 to 118. The Cavs are off today. They'll be back in action tomorrow night against the New York Knicks here at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Tip-off is at 7:30 p.m. on Bally Sports, Ohio. Well, we will get to our my Guardians preview in just a moment. And this is why it's a special ML opening day ML of Major League Baseball edition of Scott Sports 101. And right now, it's time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question, which is an NBA trivia question. Which NBA player was the first to win the MVP award? Wilt Chamberlain. If you said Wilt Chamberlain, you are correct. Wilt Chamberlain won the MVP award for the first time in 1972. He's the third oldest player to win the MVP award. And I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast. And so stay tuned for that. Well, moving on to the Guardians, it's finally here, opening day of Major League Baseball. And the Guardians and Mariners are getting underway. They actually started at 10:10 tonight. They're kicking off the season with the Seattle Mariners right now at T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. And Shane Bieber is on the hill for the Guardians tonight against Mariners Luis Castillo. So, and we will. And right now, it's in the bottom of the first, and they are scoreless right now. The Guardians right now. So we will see. The Seattle Mariners are batting right now. They are coming to bat. But right now, the Guardians have re-signed Andres Gimenez to a 7-year contract extension of $106 million. He is set for life. And I think I think it's really awesome that we're going to be hanging on to him for the next 7 years. Uh, he also re-signed uh, second reliever Trevor Steppen to a 4-year contract extension worth $730,000 with two club options. Steppen is the second reliever uh, the Guardians have signed to a multi-year deal in as many years. Now, one of the big questions this season is, will the Guardians win more than 86 games? The line is 86.5, and yes, I do feel that the Guardians will win uh, more than just 86 games this year. So, and I think they will at least win 90 or 95 games, if that. So, we'll see, and I believe that they will win more than 86 games. And the other big question is, do the Guardians have enough to win the Central Division? And I feel they do, and I think they will win this Central Division again this year. And I really, and I know that the Guardians will be back in the playoffs, and I can hope that we go further than we did last year. And Tristan McKenzie will be out 8 weeks with a right shoulder strain, so hopefully we'll get him back in the lineup within 8 weeks. So, but I really feel this is going to be a great season, and there's 17 players making their major league debut tonight. Guardians major league debut with the Guardians, the 17 players. And the pitchers, there's a few pitchers that will be making their debut this season. But a lot of them are returning ones, and I think they're going to do well. And hopefully, I really think, hopefully, we can have a good record by the time the All Star break rolls around. So we shall see what happens. And I really think a lot of Major League Baseball teams are really, I think the guys can beat it, but I think Seattle, you can't rule them out. They give us a rough way to go, and so can the Houston Astros as well as the White Sox. So we'll see what they do this season. Seattle's done. They've gotten one hit, but there's nobody on base right now. Uh, and I think the Guardians did not score in the first. Ramirez grounded out to Ty France, and there were 3 outs. And Mario Rosario struck out swinging, and Steve McQuan pops out to third. And there's now 1 out because Julio Rodriguez struck out. And actually, now there's 2 outs, excuse me. And then Ty France swinging on a line drive to left fielder Steve McQuan. So right now, it is, but they have one of it right now. Is one, it's 0-0 right now. It's scoreless. In the first, that's the end of the first, and the Guardians are coming back up to bat. So we will see if the Guardians can start out 1-0 tonight. So we shall see if they can do it. So that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Major League Baseball Cleveland Guardians preview. and opening day of Major League Baseball show. I'll have another podcast later on, either not probably not some actually this weekend, either tomorrow, Saturday, or Sunday. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. Go Guardians. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.